I'm Miss Megan from Growing Great, and today we're going to be learning about carbohydrates. So, where do we find carbohydrates? Well, we actually find them in a wide variety of foods, including grains, vegetables, fruit, legumes, which are ingredients in things like hummus, and dairy. Now, carbohydrates are a really important part to a balanced diet because they provide us energy to do things like play and swim. And of course, as always, if you can eat a rainbow of carbohydrates, that's the best way to go. Today we're going to be looking at two very specific carbohydrates that are grains, corn and wheat. So, let's see what we need to get started. For this activity, you'll need wheat berries, half of which you soak for 1 to 2 days before the activity, corn kernels, corn flour, wheat flour, a wheat tortilla, a corn tortilla, and lastly, a magnifying glass if you have one, and smooth stone. So let's get started. So first, let's take a look at our different grains. We have our dry wheat berries, we have our soaked wheat berries, and we have our corn. Now, using your senses, observe how each grain feels, looks, smells, and even sounds. Some things I observed about my grains were that the corn kernels were much bigger than the wheat berries, and that when I dropped the dry wheat berries, it made a different sound than when I dropped the soaked wheat berries. Now, even though our corn and wheat do have a lot of differences, they also have some important similarities. Now, I want you to guess which part of a plant corn kernels and wheat berries come from. That's right, they're both the seed part of the plant. Now, we're going to take a closer look at our soaked wheat berries because something pretty amazing is happening. So as I've said, I've been soaking these for about 24 to 48 hours before doing this activity. And if you'll notice here, these wheat berries are beginning to sprout. And this is a process called germination. And if we let it continue, it would grow into a new wheat plant. So here we have our wheat flour and corn flour. But how do we get from a kernel to flour? Let's see if we can take a closer look. For this next step, you'll need your smooth stone, your corn kernels, and your unsoaked wheat berries. So, we're going to try to crush our corn kernels and wheat berries with our stone to see if we can figure out where the flour comes from. Whew, that was hard work. Let's take a closer look at what our crushed wheat and corn looks like. So here we have our corn. And as you can see, when you crush the corn, on the inside is a fine white powder. And that is corn flour. And similarly with our wheat, we see on the interior is fine white flour. If you were making your own machine to crush grains into flour, what materials do you think you would use? Take a moment to observe both your corn flour and wheat flour to see how it looks, feels, smells, and even sounds. Now, I observed that while my flour feels pretty similar, they actually smell really different. And when I take a closer look with my magnifying glass, they also look different. Take a look at what I saw. All right, Now it's time for the last step in our observation, observing our corn and our wheat tortillas. So again, using your senses, this time all 5, observe how the tortillas look, feel, smell, sound, and taste. Just like the ingredients used to make these corn and wheat tortillas, they have both similarities and differences. Before I took bites out of them, they were both roughly circles. But when I tasted them, they tasted pretty different. So you can use your own tortillas to make a healthy rainbow carbohydrate snack that will give you tons of energy for the rest of the day. Take a look at what I made. Using my wheat tortilla, I used red tomato, yellow corn, green spinach, purple onion, and some hummus spread and mozzarella cheese to make my own carbohydrate-filled snack. So delicious. I have to say, the tortillas tasted good, but they taste even better with a rainbow of ingredients. I hope you had a fun time today. I know I did. If you'd like to try out more fun STEM and nutrition activities you can do in your own kitchen, be sure to email megan@growinggreat.org. Special thanks to Del Monte Foods for sponsoring Growing Great's National Veggies and Fruits program, and our partners at Marbles Kids Museum for making this activity possible. Now, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.